extremely fortunate. हमने इसकी marketing और advertising last week में कर रहे, तो आप लोगों को पता है कौन आने वाले हैं. It is indeed our pleasure and honor to have somebody of the stature of Mr. Abhinav Bindra to be amongst us. He is a champion, no doubt. He's a person who has excelled in a field when you don't have too many people around you, who are experts and who can guide you. तो आप कभी अकेले होते हैं, फिर भी आपका अगर हौसला बड़ा होता है कि मुझे करके जीतना है और वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बनना है, भले मेरे को उसका सपोर्ट इतना ना भी मिले, तो उनसे बेहतर एग्जाम्पल कोई नहीं है. जब इंडिया में हम ओलंपिक्स में, तो मतलब वी प्ले क्रिकेट वेरी वेल, पर जब ओलंपिक्स आती है तो मुझे तो बचपन से याद है कि हमको मेडल बहुत कम मिलती है और हम सब बोलते हैं कि इंडिया इतनी बड़ी कंट्री है, so many population, India is such a large population, why can't they win medals? And therefore when Abhinav Bindra won a gold medal, forget about a medal, Olympic medal itself is a big thing, but when you won a gold medal, I think for every Indian ये नाम तो दिमाग में permanently बैठ गया है. Because if I was an American, तो वहाँ पे अगर आप बताओगे तो किसने गोल्ड मेडल जीता है, तो इतने लोगों ने जीता है कि नाम भी याद रखना मुश्किल है. But from India, I think it was a thing that permanently every Indian has it in his mind that he made all of India so proud. So let me just tell you a little bit about him. थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ना तो पड़ता है क्योंकि इनका जो success है, there are too many facts in this और हर चीज याद नहीं रहती है. So Abhinav Bindra's journey to become the first and only Indian to win an individual Olympic gold and the first Indian to win a world championship gold in air rifle shooting is an example of a single-minded quest for perfection. And I remember reading his interviews and whatever he was talking afterwards that we do not have the infrastructure in India, and he has worked very hard to build that infrastructure so that we have more champions. And I think after Abhinav Bindra won the gold in the subsequent Olympics, our performance also has improved a lot. His victory at Beijing was not just a personal one, it broke a sporting barrier that had haunted the nation for a century. Born in Dehradun, he has won over 150 individual medals in a career that lasted over 20 years. His last Olympics were in Rio in 2016, where he finished fourth, recipient of Arjuna Award, and the youngest recipient of Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. Mr. Bindra was also conferred with India's third highest civilian award, the Padma Bhushan, in 2009. Post his retirement from active sport, he founded the ABTP Facilities for Physical Excellence under Abhinav Futuristics Private Limited. Over 5,000 athletes and medical patients have benefited from the 6 centers across the country: Pune, New Delhi, Gurgaon, Mohali, Bangalore, and Bhubaneswar. Through the Abhinav Bindra Foundation, Indian grassroots athletes are granted scholarships to train at the center and grow under the technology. So this is what मैं ज़्यादा time नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ, नहीं तो I can keep reading a lot more. I will like to invite, of course, this session is called Khaas Baat with Misterbond. और मिस्टर बॉन्ड हमारे साथ जुड़ने के बाद 4 चांद लग गई है और पाठशाला में. और मिस्टर बॉन्ड को तो सब जानते हैं, वो अभी ही इज पार्ट ऑफ पाठशाला, तो अभी वो होस्ट बन चुके हैं पाठशाला का, तो मैं उनका भी इंट्रोडक्शन देना नहीं चाह रहा हूँ. सो लेट मी जस्ट इनवाइट मिस्टर बॉन्ड एंड टू हैव अ फैंटास्टिक कॉन्वर्सेशन विद मिस्टर अभिनव बिंद्रा to inspire us how to become excellent in whatever we do our practice, whether we have support or we don't have support, how individually we can rise. So thank you so much, Mr. Bindra, to be with us. It's indeed an honor. And sir, it's all yours, Sunil Javeri ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dharamji. Good afternoon. Welcome to Abhinav Bindra, Padma Bhushan Abhinav Bindra. This is really an honor and a privilege to have you on our show. And first and foremost, let me say a very happy new year to all of the viewers who are viewing across the country as well as across many nations, because this invitation has gone viral. We are starting our new year with a big bang, literally and figuratively, because we have a shooter, Abhinav Bindra, and Dharamji has just given a beautiful introduction. And frankly speaking, he needs no introduction either to the Indian audiences or to international audiences also. But today I'm going to request him to go down memory lane and share his triumphs, his failures, his joys, his pains, and how can we imbibe some of the lessons from his life journey and his professional journey, and then take our journey forward also. Welcome, Abhinav.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Happy New Year to you and to all your viewers. And, thank you for having me, and great pleasure to be here with you. And I'm looking forward to the conversation that we're going to have.
Absolutely. I think the audiences across are really keenly and eagerly waiting for our conversation. So I'm going to ask you to go down memory lane, as I just said. You know, you started into this sport at a very young age. At the age of 15, you actually participated in Commonwealth Games. First and foremost, how did you think of air rifle shooting as a sport? Because most of the kids in India will either think of playing, cricket or hockey. So what made you think of this, and what was your journey, the initial journey of getting into this sport?
Well, it is a kind of a funny story, because I started out as a very reluctant athlete. As a young boy, as a young child, as a young kid, I was a fat boy whose only talent in school, I was in boarding school, and my only talent there was to miss physical education classes at school.
Wow.
In fact, as a child, I hated sport, and I was not very happy in boarding school. And although I used to receive a letter every day from my father, which had one commonality in those letters, was that I must play some sport. But of course, I did not really listen to him. And then I finally got out of boarding school and joined a day school in Chandigarh. And I needed something to do, and I needed a pastime. So I was introduced to the sport of shooting. So I went to my first coach for my first formal shooting session. His name is Colonel Dillon, and I fell in love with the sport from day one, because to be successful in my sport, I had to stand still, and I had no running around required in it. So that was the initial reason why I actually got into the sport. But it was something which is definitely my weak point. But of course, in the years to come, it became a strength. And I have had this sport. It lasted 22 years, which is a fairly long period of time. And now that I can look back at my career a little bit more dispassionately, because I have sort of exited my investment, to say, I can look at it more dispassionately, and I look back at it, not at the outcome, which was a gold medal that I won, but I look back at it, and what I cherish is what I learned in the process and the person I became in the process. That to me holds the most amount of value in my sporting career. The journey that I had is what I cherish, the ups and downs that I faced and encountered, and tried to become the best version of myself every single day. That is what I look back with fondness. And those are wonderful lessons that I learned. Those are wonderful memories that I have, which will remain a part of my life for the rest of my life. Of course, the medals are great, but they are just, at the end of the day, outcomes which hang on a wall. And to bring life to them, it is about leading a life in a particular way. And sport, I've been fortunate to learn so many values through sport, which I continue.
I'm sure I'm going to ask you these questions also.
Yes.
Some of the values which you imbibed and which you learned in this sporting career of yours. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.